What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the W Sports Podcast. Yes, it is here, fantasy football week 5. We got sleepers. We got guys. Hey, listen, watch out. They're probably going to bust this week. We're going to have that on the top end of the show. And then, of course, it's MLB Playoffs. It's the best time in all of sports, I would say, because it's October baseball, and the Astros have gone down. This is incredible. I'm so happy about it right now. Anyway, that is what's going to happen today on the show. Thank you guys so much for joining. Jimothy, I'm back at it again. Tubby, welcome back to the show, man. Thanks for holding it down.
Absolutely. I'm ready to talk some playoff baseball because, like I said, the cheaters have gone down, and
it's a good time. It's a good day. Yeah. And here's the thing. There are two teams right now that are steamrolling through the playoffs. They look like, well, you might watch out. We might have a preview of the two hottest teams in baseball right now. But we'll get to that here in a second. Let's go ahead and, Tubby, we're going to jump into some fantasy football advice for those who maybe are on the waiver wire, probably not at this point, but maybe there's another injury report that's caused you to be there. We're going to go through some, sleepers, some guys that I would caution to stay away from. We're going to have to stay away from, obviously, the Thursday night game, which has been one of the best ones in recent memory or even long-term memory. Usually this is a 13-10, defensive ugly game here. Got some crisp football out there.
Yeah, both offenses are giving us a show finally. Last week we had the 20-15 game from the Cowboys and Giants. This is a lot better already.
A lot better, yeah. So we're gonna exclude them. However, they are part of the rankings when you look at some of these players. So anyway, we're gonna get to it. Tubby, we're gonna start with quarterbacks. Give me your bust. Top 12 quarterback that you are staying away from this week.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, dadgummit, that was mine.
Was it?
It's too obvious.
It's going to be interesting to see how the offense performs because of the injuries. His options throwing the football are not great right now. So fantasy wise, and really he hasn't played great fantasy wise this year, anyways. So I'm kind of staying away from Patrick Mahomes or relatively most of the guys on that Chiefs offense for now.
Yeah, I think he would be my number one. There's a couple of guys that have snuck in there a little bit that I'm not too sure about. Like Geno Smith might be one, or Kyler Murray having an off week. But it's Patrick Mahomes for me. It's not even close. What about a quarterback that's in the next tier of 12 that you would want to start this week in place of Patrick Mahomes?
Give me Caleb Williams. You're playing the Panthers. He is seemed like he is starting to get a better firm grasp on this offense. The last 2 games he has played much better. Yeah, fantasy wise, he didn't put up the numbers quite like he did the week before last week, but you're playing against a really bad defense, and I think that he is going to really kind of assert himself this week and hit those maybe close to that 20 fantasy points instead of the 13 that he's projected at.
Yeah, I like that take. I'm going to say a couple of different options, probably because you're out there, you're watching the injury news, or maybe you're just like, I got Aaron Rodgers or I have Trevor Lawrence, and they just aren't cutting it, or Aaron Rodgers is playing 8:30 on the road in London this week. So I just don't like that. And you're holding out and hoping he gets Devontae Adams. I'm going to go with Andy Dalton. And we've seen this work before with Geno Smith and just some of these guys like that at QB whisperer, if you will, at this point with Carolina. And since he's been in there, I like him. If Anthony Richardson does not play, give me Joe Flacco. He's going to fling the ball around. Those are the 2 guys I would target just as backups, just in case, right? Hopefully you have someone better, but it's fantasy football. I don't care if they threw it 2 picks. I mean, I do, but I don't care as long as they're throwing the ball around and putting some points up. So,
I'll take three touchdowns, 2 picks any day.
Yeah, and what do those guys have to lose? Literally nothing. Throw the ball.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's move over to the running back side of things. Tell me who you got as which is a bust, right? We'll start with the bust.
Yeah, this one, I'm staying away from Devon Achane. I'm staying away from the Dolphins, period, right now. Devon Achane. Even though he is going to be the main running back because Mostert is still out, we saw last week teams are loading the box and making Tyler Huntley throw the football. He had 10 carries for 15 yards last week. Definitely staying away from Devon Achane right now.
Yeah, I'm torn here. The Josh Jacobs, he's shown flashes to be great, but at the same time, He's one of the ones I'm like, I don't know, but I'm not going to choose him. He was one of the ones. It's Travis Etienne, and it's because I feel like the Jaguars just don't know. They're classic Jaguar situation right now. They just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And this is his number of carries he's had the last couple of weeks, or to start the year, 12, 13, 11, 11.
Why?
I don't know what they're doing. This is why the Jaguars are the Jaguars, but they keep thinking that Tank Bigsby is bad. Tank Bigsby is not the skill level and the talent that Etienne is. So until they can put that in their brains and give him the ball 20 times, granted, he did have, what was it? Oh, he had one catch. So he had 12 touches last week. The week before that, he had 15. Until they can figure out how to get him 22 to 25 touches, he's so touchdown dependent right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what about a lower guy that you were like, hey, I'm going to keep my eyes on him, maybe get him in place?
I think one of them is like the surprise ranking of where James Conner is this week. 13 fantasy points, I think, is low, especially for 49ers defense that has not really played great this year. I think they're ranked somewhere around 20th in fantasy points given up to a running back. I think James Conner has a big week this week and puts up a pretty considerable amount of points. And yeah, I think he's a solid start. I mean, you're more than likely not benching James Conner if you have him, but
right.
This is a guy I think, where they have him projected this week, I think is a little low.
Yeah, I got Eckler, and I can't. It's too late now to say Irving, but Irving would have been another one. But Eckler is my guy, assuming he does get to play this week. That is one that he has. He's just produced in that offense, and Daniels he's completing it at such a high. I mean, that's all the talk of ESPN I've noticed last week is how well he's completing passes, and that is what Eckler is so good at, is catching the ball too. So if he's back, put him in the lineup, let him get you 15 points, and maybe he sneaks in a touchdown too. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Wide receivers.
So I'm gonna go with Deontay Johnson. Even though the targets have been so high with Andy Dalton, it's the fact that you're going against Jalen Johnson, who's one of the best corners in the NFL. I think Adam Thielen probably will have the better game this week. No, actually not. Thielen's not playing. I take that back. Give me Xavier Legette.
Yep.
But I think that Deontay Johnson will probably be shadowed a lot by Jalen Johnson in that Bears stingy defense. So I think his numbers, he's not going to hit that 20 mark again like he has the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I do like that too. Let me see real quick. If I was going to pick a sleeper, I would also pick either give me a Colts receiver that's out there on the wide. You know, if you want to say Pitt, I don't know where Pittman's ranked this week, but
he's lower than you think. I was surprised. That was almost my pick for my starter was Pitts, but I went with Wicks from the Packers.
Yeah,
I think that secondary from the Rams is bad. Jordan Love's
I do like that one too.
Jordan Love loves Wicks and Jaden Reed. I think those two are going to have big games this week.
Here's the one that I don't understand. At least I can't. I've seen him projected at, for some reason, 10 and 11 and 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me where you're seeing the ranking. What is it? What is Malik Neighbors ranked? Because he's projected for such a stupid low number this week against Seattle.
I don't know if Neighbors is playing.
Well, I get that part.
Yeah.
But if he does, there's no reason. He didn't practice again today, but if he does, you better put him in. And that'll probably reflect in it too. But man. I mean, he's a huge one.
Even guys most guys that are questionable, you're going to project them at where they typically get.
Yeah, he's
not going, oh, he's hurt. Yeah, 10 is absolutely absurd because we know. I mean, look what him and Wan'Dale Robinson did last week to the Cowboys. Malik Neighbors is a fantasy stud already.
He's a game changer for offenses. He's what Jamar Chase was for the Bengals.
Absolutely.
It's insane. If I was going to take a bust, and maybe this is a cop-out because we know we don't like Deshaun Watson, give me Amari Cooper. Everyone's like, he has such a great matchup this weekend, but the problem is he still has Deshaun Watson throwing to him. And I don't know if I mentioned this. Here I do have, and I think he's on track to play maybe. He was the sleeper I was going to choose was Flacco, but Anthony Richardson. Let's move on. I don't know if they already know this, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Lord, that mistake of a pick right there. So
absolutely. Yeah.
We hope that advice helped you guys. Hopefully you got a couple wins. My teams are mostly doing good. I have one team that's just underperforming really bad, but it's fine. But most of my teams, I'm at least 3-1, if not 4-0. So feeling pretty good.
Yeah. No, same here. I've got one team that's not so great.
Yeah,
But
one with all the injuries.
big part of that is to the amount of injuries I have on my team.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on. We got MLB playoffs. Right now we're finishing up the last game, I think, as we record. I'm not sure what they scored again, the Buccaneers did. Sorry, I'm just like, oh, dang. As we speak right now, it's the top of the ninth. Milwaukee is up 2-0. Hopefully it's not a spoiler for you, Tubby. But they do have a runner on first, so we'll see what that game looks like. But for the most part, Kansas City won. Detroit took down the cheaters in the Astros. And in the other game, Padres took down the Braves. Padres, who would you not want to face in this round? The Padres or the Tigers?
I'm going to say the Tigers. Yeah. The hottest team in baseball right now. That team is – and the thing is, like, you look at that lineup outside of, like, Riley Green and maybe Torkelson just because he's the first pick, you go, who are the most of these players in this offense?
Yeah.
But they are just on fire. And anytime you can throw out a guy like Tariq Skubal,
dude,
you're going to have a pretty good shot at winning no matter who you're playing.
Yeah. And I would probably say the Padres. I don't know how long Musgrove, he's going to get a little bit of time to heal up, but him leaving that game early was not great. But I don't know, dude. That team right now has a ton of momentum. They did beat the Dodgers in the regular season series for what that's worth, which isn't a whole lot. We've seen them do that in the past. But that's the team I'm thinking right now, that they have a lot of momentum. Now, here's the problem. When it comes to baseball, do you know what momentum is?
What's that?
They say momentum is tomorrow's starting pitcher. I don't care what happened in the last series, who's starting pitcher. But that's part of the reason why I think that the Dodgers are going to be in a tough spot. They got Flaherty going in game one.
No, they swapped it.
Oh, they did?
Yamamoto's starting game one now.
All right. Okay. Last I said, I think it was this morning I saw that they had. When did they switch it?
It swapped an hour ago.
That's fine. So I think they got to get I would almost say you got to win both those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously the crowd at Los Angeles Dodgers have great fans. Like the crowd is going to be electric there in Los Angeles, but it's going to be just as insane in San Diego. It's going to be a great series. That's one I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. The thing I will mention is the final series for the Dodgers won that series, and it was the last week of baseball. And the Dodgers, as much as people have overlooked them, they're playing really good baseball. And even with the pitching as bad as it has been, injury wise, Yamamoto has come back. Yamamoto has looked really good. Flaherty has looked really good, for the Dodgers. Even Landon Knack, the rookie pitcher, which that'll be the big question is, the rookie pitcher, if he does get the start like they're saying, game, 3 or 4 or whatever, depending on how it goes, will be the big thing. And Walker Buehler's last 2 starts has looked a little bit more like Walker Buehler. Not quite the same, but he's, the last start I remember, he went 5 innings, didn't give up a run. So if that can happen, like you said, the Dodgers, they did beat the Padres that final week of the season to secure the NL West. Maybe they have some momentum on their side there that, okay, we just beat you in a 4-game series at the end of the season when the NL West was on the line. Hopefully it gives them, especially the way that offense is playing right now. That offense, it'll keep you in it even with the bad pitching right now.
100% true. Yeah, that's the thing is there's 3 MVPs on the offensive side for Los Angeles. So that's what's going to be so tough. What about those? We got the Royals and Yankees, which I've seen MLB Network and ESPN do a good job with this. It's talking about there is history there in the postseason with these 2 teams absolutely hating their guts back when that window of time when the Royals were good in the 80s with George Brett. But that series itself is huge. And we can talk in the offseason maybe as the season winds down, we'll talk about how the disappointment maybe from teams like the Baltimore Orioles and the step back it may have felt like this season. And to lose again in that round. But I don't know if we have time for that today. But how when it comes to Detroit and Kansas City, who has the better opportunity to, you probably already know this answer, to upset their team in this next round and make it to DCS?
It's going to be the Tigers, just because you have a foe that you know more. You're playing the Guardians, and the Guardians, they played good this year, and it really shocked a lot of people with how well they played consistently throughout the season. But the way the Tigers are on the roll right now, they're one of the hottest teams, and we have seen it year after year. When you get hot at this right time, there's a chance that you make a run to the World Series, or at least to the CS. And as much as I want to say the Royals, because I'm like, outside of the Dodgers, Bobby Witt is my favorite player in baseball right now. I just don't know if the offense can score enough. The pitching is there. The starting pitching is lights out, and can go toe to toe with any team right now when it comes to starting pitching. But I just don't know if they can score enough runs. You won both those games against the Orioles 2-0 and 1-0. So
that's my biggest worry. I don't know. The starting pitching is great. They got us to that. Oh, and there is a sac fly. Yeah, sac fly. It looks like for nope, homer. They just took the lead 3-2.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, dude, the Brewers. Oh man, classic.
Late
Pete
inning
Alonso.
magic again from the Mets. I mean, that first game in the doubleheader for the Mets and Braves was absolutely insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What was that? I think that was Francisco. I did 1 out, and they just had 2 on, 3-run bomb. Wow! Look at Pete Alonso
off Devin Williams.
I think so. Let me see. I should check.
Wow.
I'm not looking at the game. I'm looking at the game cast. This is making for absolutely – it's Devin Williams. It's making for terrible podcast material, but it's fine. I was looking at the game cast because you can follow the players, and it looked like it was going to be a sac fly, but nope, made it all the way over. So, I don't know that the Royals have enough offensive firepower right now to do it, and I don't know that their bullpen is good enough to shut down this team. Yeah. Plus, the Yankees had the best record in all of baseball against good teams. I think there's a reason why they won the number 1 overall seed, and there's a reason why. And obviously, I would say Aaron Judge is up, walk him. Juan Soto's up. If you can, you walk him. Just go ahead and make someone else beat you. It'll be a good series. But here's my favorite parts outside the Astros not being in it. You have San Diego and Los Angeles, but it feels like every other team is a cold weather team. So we're going to get some chilly October baseball hoodies. Dude, it's going to be so great. And here's my hope. The Royals have to make it to a game 4 in this series. So they at least have to win 1 game. But I want to go to the Royals-Yankees playoff game here at the K. That would be sick.
Yeah, but I think they can definitely at least, win 1. I mean, when you could throw out Reagans and Lugo, the way they both have pitched this year, you have a chance. Even if you can't score a whole lot of runs, those guys can shut down some offenses.
Yeah. Who's going to have the better postseason? And it's we don't know. Is it Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani?
I'm going to say it's going to be Judge, because I think that he has a better chance at playing more.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's what I would say. MLB is going to do everything they can to get to be those 2 teams.
Oh,
Could
absolutely.
you imagine the media coverage? It'd be insane. So, well, stick with the W Sports Podcast, everyone, because we're going to be covering the MLB playoffs, more fantasy football every single week. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you hit subscribe, because next week we are announcing what our first jersey giveaway is, and the easiest way to make sure that you are officially in that chance to win it. I don't know why I said it that way, but easiest way to register to win is to make sure you subscribe. So hit subscribe, DM us if you have subscribed, to make sure that we have you on the list, because sometimes those are hidden based off your settings. So we want to make sure that everyone has a great chance. But thank you guys so much for subbing. Thank you so much for joining the show today. Until then, see you all next time.
See ya.
See you.